And we'll dive right in, beginning with a huge day legally for Donald Trump. He is expected to be in a New York courtroom this morning for a hearing on the hush money case against him. The trial was supposed to start today, but it was delayed earlier this month after federal prosecutors turned over thousands of documents, which the Manhattan District Attorney's Office says are largely irrelevant to the case. The judge is now expected to set a new start date for the criminal trial. Meanwhile, today is also the deadline for Trump to put up a bond of nearly $500 million in the civil fraud case. The bond would prevent the New York Attorney General from collecting on the judgment while he appeals. Trump's attorneys have asked an appellate court to reduce, delay, or waive the bond. But as the Washington Post reports, the appeals court generally issues rulings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so there is very little chance it will act today.
So, Chuck Rosenberg, what should we be expecting this week? How significant will it be for the former president?
Well, it could be very significant if the Attorney General of the state of New York, Joe, begins to move against his assets. But let me add a note here, if I may. Just because a prosecutor can do something doesn't necessarily mean that she should do something. Well, we know that Mr. Trump has asked an appellate court to either reduce or waive the bond that he would have to pay. We may have a decision from that appellate court soon. It might be prudent in this case for the Attorney General to wait to see what the appellate court says before she starts moving against the assets. You know, again, prosecutors have a lot of authority and a lot of power, but you don't always have to use it at its fullest in every case, in every instance, just because you can. And so if I were the Attorney General here, I'd like to hear what the appellate court has to say about the amount of the bond and whether they're going to reduce it. Because you can always move against the assets on Tuesday or Thursday or Monday of next week. And it might make sense to wait and see.
Jonathan Lemire, obviously this is a massive bond and obviously makes a bad situation much worse for Donald Trump. But there was also, and man, I'm not exactly sure how his Truth Social deal is going the way it is, but it looks like a Ponzi scheme to me. I don't understand it. This is, though, a social media network that doesn't appear to be successful, and yet people are throwing around $5 billion here, $5 billion there. Does that provide Donald Trump an economic lifeline in the short term?
Yeah, well, first of all, there's certainly nothing's going to be able to materialize by today. You're right about Truth Social. It's a website that, frankly, no one uses. It has very little traction outside of the extreme MAGA right, and it is where Trump continues to post. Since he was kicked off of Twitter after January 6th, I believe he's only posted one thing since, which was his mugshot when he was indicted in Georgia last summer. So he's still trying to drive interest to Truth Social. It's not really working. There have been merger deals rumored for a couple years now that all kind of fell apart. So
where does this massive valuation come from? I'm
it's the same thing all over again.
It is
in a free and open and fair market, I mean, if you're just talking about economic considerations, who would invest in this company unless you were trying to curry favor with somebody you think might be the next president of the United States?
Well, I think you hit it right there. It's someone trying to curry favor with someone they believe the next president of the United States. We certainly have seen a number of people do that of late. And this is one with Truth Social where it's not a success by any measure. But yet there seems to be money coming, or at least it's not done. But there's rumors of money coming there that could really change Trump's financial picture. Now, it wouldn't be coming in the next few weeks. It wouldn't arrive in time to stave off this bond. So this is still a separate issue for Trump, but it could come down the road. It could allow him to reset his financial footing. And there's also talk about what will happen today. Is this going to lead to Trump to declaring bankruptcy, which, of course, is a tool he's used before? And that won't get him out of, experts say, that won't get him out of having to pay this judgment, but it could delay things. Now, it would be a black eye politically for a former businessman who touts himself as a master of the corporate universe. It's part of his deal when you make his pitch for the presidency. But that could if he does that, that could buy him some time, and maybe, Joe, Mika, this financial lifeline for Truth Social or another one would emerge.